Good evening, Rams. Welcome back to yet another edition of Bleacher Beat. I'm your host, as always, Brandon Kruse. Well, you've heard me discuss both college and professional sports on this show, but what about at the high school level? See how the Lambkins of Fort Collins High are doing this season and why Ram fans should be keeping an eye on them as the fall progresses. Plus, I'll provide an overview of the greater college football playoff landscape now that we're 8 weeks in. All of this and more on Bleacher Beat, which starts right now. Let's kick things off with something a little bit different. Now, some of you may be aware of the high schools in the NoCo area, and like me, maybe even attended one. But tonight, we're going to focus on one in particular. Fort Collins High School is 7-2 this season, destined for the playoffs, and led by two young stars that you just might recognize in the future.
Although it may not be at the level of Texas, high school football is still a treasured pastime here in northern Colorado, and maybe even more so for the Lambkins of Fort Collins High School. The team currently sits atop the 5A Metro 1 League standings, highlighted by its two do-it-all superstars in Dorian McGarity and Dante Johnson.
Dorian's kind of our very quick twitch, fast, goes and makes a bunch of plays, and Dante's our very smooth, versatile ball hawk and defensive side of things.
And with this two-way play in mind, this dynamic duo must be a nightmare to game plan for, literally never coming off of the field.
Wherever coach needs me to play, that's where I'm at. We lose all three quarterbacks in one half of a football game, I'm at quarterback.
The mental toughness, determination, and team emphasis that both of these guys have rightfully earned each a D1 scholarship.
Ever since I started playing football, my primary goal was to be the first one in my family to go to a D1 school and play sports, and I achieved that dream, and it means like everything to me.
I mean, to have two is really cool, especially to have them go to the school that I went to. Dorian wearing the number I wore in high school and Dante the one I wore in college.
And what school might that be?
Yeah, that's right. Dorian and Dante will be CSU Rams next fall, following Coach Yem's path and becoming the first Lambkins to receive D1 offers since 2013.
It's just a perfect fit. Their hospitality that they gave me was awesome. The coaches made me feel welcome. It's a comfortable environment. My family, it's close to home. Why not them? I even love the weather here. It's awesome. I don't understand why people wouldn't want to go to CSU, to be honest.
And the idea of playing together at CSU had to be an exciting prospect.
It started to kick in after I realized he's been offered. So I was like, wow, now I get to play with my homeboy at CSU at the next level. I was so excited about that. I was so happy.
Fort Collins concludes its regular season down in Westminster this Thursday against Mountain Range High. And with playoffs quickly on the horizon, the next team to slow down McGarity and Johnson will be the first to do so this season. I mean, just take a look at these numbers. McGarity is the Lambkins' top receiver this year, with 23 catches for 406 yards and 6 touchdowns through 9 games. Oh, and he's also a threat on the ground and can even air it out too. Add a kickoff return into that mix, and you've got 4 ways he can score. And as for Johnson, he's also electric at wideout and on special teams. But he mostly makes his living as a beast on defense, with 49 solo tackles, 7 pass breakups, both lead the team, and 2 picks in 2021. With this in mind, Johnson will be a safety at CSU, bolstering the secondary with his agility and awareness. And on the other side, McGarity enters as a receiver, providing speed on the outside, which is a crucial skill to have given that CSU has desperately struggled in the vertical passing game as of late. Man, I'm so excited to see what these guys will do at the next level. And now, returning back to college athletics, the CFB season has been a wild, unpredictable mess. Let me just name a few chaotic moments real quick. Number 2 Iowa got blown out at home to Purdue. Clemson isn't in the top 25 poll, but UTSA somehow is. And Penn State, Illinois went into 9 overtimes this past weekend. And I didn't even mention Alabama's loss to Texas A&M. Whether it's simply fans being back in stadiums or the lack of superior teams, I don't really know. But even with all the movement, the playoff picture is actually not that complicated. To start, I think it's safe to say that Georgia isn't. The Bulldogs have been dominant throughout the season, and I expect that to continue. They have by far the best defense in the nation, giving up just 4 offensive touchdowns all year. Yep, good luck beating them, let alone scoring on them. And even if the Dogs were to fall in the SEC championship game, with only 1 loss, they're still easily in. And though the same thing can't be said for Cincinnati, I just don't see the Bearcats losing, period. They have an impressive road win in South Bend against Notre Dame, which should be enough to convince the committee that the Cats are legit. Now, I get that Cincinnati's schedule is way below par, but you have to reward complete performances, and Cincinnati just keeps on winning. That leaves 2 spots remaining. The Big Ten and Big 12 are the front runners. In the Big 12, I'm mainly talking about Oklahoma, but don't sleep on Oklahoma State and even Baylor. Over in the Big 10, Ohio State, Michigan State, and Michigan, all in the Big 10 East, are really the primary contenders, but none of them have played each other yet. So as the weeks go on, we'll really get to see who that best team in the Big 10 is. Out of those 2 leagues, Alabama is still relevant. If they win out, that would include a win over Georgia in the SEC championship game. So they basically control their own destiny. And on the West Coast in Oregon, they're still relevant. They have a great win against Ohio State, but they have that bad loss to unranked Stanford. So there's a lot to consider going into the final half of the regular season. But it's safe to say that Georgia and Cincinnati have claimed 2 spots already. Well, Ram fans, that's all the sports action I have for you tonight. Be sure to catch Cam's Corner on Thursday for more sporting news, but don't go away just yet. Noah Pasley will end tonight's show by giving you all the spice in entertainment.